morning, everyone, and welcome to Urban Update. I'm Byron Barnett. The Greater Boston Interfaith Organization, GBIO, is a broad-based organization which works to coalesce, train, and organize the communities of Greater Boston across all religious, racial, ethnic, class, and neighborhood lines for the public good. The primary goal is to develop local leadership and organized power to fight for social justice. In 2005, GBIO launched Moving from Debt to Assets, a groundbreaking financial education and empowerment program that's helped more than 400 families to build strong financial futures. The idea for this program began in 2004 when GBIO leaders heard over and over again from city and suburb, from low-income and middle-income people that I'm drowning in debt. Joining me today to help us discover ways to get our financial lives back in order, Joel Schwartz is the director of the Debt to Assets program. Also with us today, Nadita Koveni. Koveni is currently a counselor and teacher for students in a financial education and empowerment program called Moving from Debt to Assets. And finally, Chris Pierre-Lewis. She's a graduate of the class number 31. Welcome to Urban Update, everyone. Thanks for coming in.
Thank you.
Joel, if I could start with you, just kind of give us a sketch here. Explain what the Moving from Debt to Assets program is, what it's intended to do, and so forth.
Yeah. Well, as you said, we're facing a crisis in this country as a whole in terms of debt, in terms of people falling into all sorts of financial traps. And we saw it in our own members, in our churches and synagogues, mosques and unions, and we created this program that we think will be effective in really helping people make long-term changes in how they manage money. So it consists of 4 components. One is a class session, typically meets 6 times and covers a whole range of important topics that everybody needs to know in terms to enable them to manage their money well. Then the second thing is a ongoing support group, and it's peer-led, it's led by members of the group, and it helps people stay on track towards the financial goals that they set during the class part of the program. And then there were 3 sessions with an individual financial counselor where people really get the help they need individually to solve their problems and set a course for themselves. And then finally, there is a $500 cash grant that people get to be used according to the plan they work out with their financial counselor. And it's those 4 components that really get people on the right track.
Now, Nadita Koveni, you're a counselor, an educator in this program. Tell me about your role, what you do, and the type of people you see.
Okay, pretty much my role here is that I meet with the students. I have 3 sessions with them. The first session really is kind of to look at their credit report. Tell me your story. What are you struggling with? And then the second session is where we meet to kind of, okay, what progress have you made based on the plans that we've kind of set for them up front. And then the third session is what I meet with them is where we talk about, okay, what have you implemented and how far you've gotten and what progress have you made. So that's my role.
And when you say students, are you talking about like 18, 19, 20-year-old college-age students?
No way. This is just everybody. I mean, debt is a national thing, and it's so everybody from the young to the old. It's everybody in the program that comes to, whether you're from whatever background that you're from, whether you're Black, Hispanic, you're Caucasian, doesn't matter. It's everybody. We all have the same problem, and they all need help.
Now, Chris Pierre-Lewis, you were a student, a graduate of the class here. Tell me, tell me how you got into this situation in terms of going to this class and what you got out of it.
Well, first of all, I'm not one to cry at funerals nor at sad situations, but my debt, due to the fact that I took some credit out for a friend and ended up with a credit card bill that really was painful for me, just receiving the phone call.
Can you say publicly how much?
No.
Was that bad, huh?
Well, it wasn't that bad, but it was enough to make me cry because the phone calls were too much. At the church, one of the teacher's assistants saw me and knew a little bit about my situation and told me about the program, and I got enlisted and was able to attend, which really helped me out. And with the grant that they provided me with, I was able to actually get out. I paid my way off by September 13th, so I'm free from that debt.
Okay, all right. Okay, we're going to talk a little bit more about that later. Right now, we're going to take a break. When we come back, we're going to have more conversation about moving from debt to assets. When Urban Update returns, stay with us.
In a typical classroom, the A students and the troublemakers get all the attention. So how do you reach the kids in the middle? This is exactly the kind of challenge we help future teachers solve.
My name is Beatrice Hare. I teach hundreds of kids one-on-one, and I am a Phoenix.
Imagine what a degree can do for you. With 2 Boston locations, one's closer than you think.
Killer boots. One more reason to love DSW. Now open in Salem.
The Greater Boston Interfaith Organization was founded by a group of 45 clergy and community leaders who began meeting in January of 1996. The motivation was built on a common desire to transcend the historic divisions in Boston that existed between neighborhoods, particularly around race and class issues. And of course, we are talking about finance today. That's the issue we're talking about today with the Moving from Debt to Assets program, which is run by the Greater Boston Interfaith Organization. Joel Schwartz, talk to me about who are these people? Who are your clients that you're dealing with? You've got, I think I said 400 before, but you say it's really, you've helped a lot more people than that.
Yeah. We graduated as of 3 weeks ago when Chris' class graduated, 604 people through the Moving from Debt to Assets program. And this is a diverse group of people. You know, we operate this program in 5 different languages. So in addition to English, more than half of our programs are in a language other than English. So that includes Haitian Creole, Cape Verdean Creole, Spanish. Our latest addition is Somali. We had a group of all Somali women go through the program and graduate this spring. And it's been very exciting seeing all these different communities sort of grasp onto this. And we really focus on a lot on underserved communities. So we've run 10 groups in the Haitian community alone, and I'm told by Haitian leaders this has made a big impact. Those 214 people just in that community, plus the Muslim community. We're the only group serving the Muslim community with this sort of program, and it's been pretty exciting.
Now, Nadita, tell me, again, as a counselor, educator here, you must tell me about one or two of the stories that you've seen. You must have seen some people in some pretty deep holes, and it's your job to help them get out of those holes.
Absolutely. One of my students, when I met with her, she was in a complete panic. Like, oh my God, I need help. I'm so glad you're here. What can I do? We looked at her credit report to kind of determine, okay, what do we need to do? Who do you need to call?
How deep was she? Since we don't know her name, maybe you can tell us.
She was about $15,000 in debt.
And how old was she?
She's about 26. And that's a lot. That's a lot for anyone. So she was like in a deep panic, like, what are we going to do? I'm getting phone calls. She had pretty much gone underground for a long time, not having any bank accounts, anything like that. So
underground?
Yeah, well, meaning
hiding from everybody.
Hiding from everyone. Like, okay, I don't want to talk to anybody. Don't call me. I have no bank accounts, so nobody can go in to touch my accounts. Stuff like that, because she was so afraid of her dad. So when we finally sat down, I said, hey, listen, let's look at each one individually. Here's what you can do. And I made some recommendation based on what she was telling me. Called up. She was so afraid. I'm like, don't be afraid. Here's what you say. So we kind of did a little script for her. She called up, spoke to the creditors, worked out a deal with them, and now she's on her way to financial literacy. She's like, oh my God, I can't believe what I got out of this class. I can't believe what you've taught me. What I've learned, the program is really a good program, and it really works. So she's like, right now, she's out of debt, and she's working her way to, now she's in opening bank accounts now. She maybe has one credit card, and she knows now, I can determine, and I can say, you know what, these are my needs and these are my wants. I don't want this. This is what I need, and if I need to get it, I can do that based on what I've learned through the program. So she's doing pretty well.
Wow, that's very good.
And that's a lot of success for a lot of students within the class.
I'm glad she's not underground anymore.
No.
Okay, I'm glad to hear that.
No, she's not.
Well, Chris Pierre-Lewis, tell me some of the skills that you learned. What did you learn from this program?
Well, the first thing that I learned was how to better manage my money. how to set up a budget that works for me, and also getting the understanding and how to use credit, not to max out the credit card, use it wisely, and pay not just the minimum, but pay a good amount, so that way I'm not always having to give a little and more added on to my card. And basically, also I learned, I don't own a home yet, but I learned how to avoid getting foreclosure. So just something for the future.
Joel Schwartz, one of the things that we talked about, you said that this program actually changes lives of people.
Yeah.
Talk to me about that.
I think that's what over the 5 years, we've learned that this isn't about learning to balance your checkbook, though certainly, obviously, that's an important skill. But it really is about changing lives, since money is connected and so central to all the aspects of our lives. So I'll just tell you an example. I said there were 6 class sessions, so in the 5th class session, I typically get up in front of the group and I said, okay, you've had 4 class sessions so far. I want to ask you, each of you, what's the single most important thing you have learned so far? So when I was in front of Nadita's class last spring, I asked that question and somebody said, that I have a future. That's what she had learned in Nadita's class, that I have a future. That is big. That is not just about balancing your checkbook. When I asked that question a year before that at St. Catherine Drexel Parish in Roxbury, where we had a group, one person raised her hand and she said, and this again is the answer to the question of what is the single most important thing you have learned, she said, I am not alone. So I think what we've learned is lessons like that you can ask, you're not alone, you can ask for help, there's a group that can support you in your struggles, that you have a future and you can plan for it, are the biggest things. And because if you don't learn those things, then in fact you're not going to absorb all the wonderful information that we provide.
Okay, we're going to take another pause here for a break, and back we'll have more information about moving from debt to assets. Stay with us, we'll be right back.
Urban Update is brought to you in part by Aspen Dental.
A few days after I went to Aspen Dental, I was at work.
I was at the grocery store.
I was walking down the street.
And someone said, "You have a beautiful smile."
I just stopped.
No one had ever said those words to me before.
Ever.
Now at Aspen Dental, select dentures are just $249. That's $150 savings.
I think I could live to be 100 and never explain how good that felt.
Call 1-800-ASPEN Dental.
Know what? Another New England winter is coming. Want to save a lot of money? Then seal out winter with NewPro windows. NewPro is the best rated window for saving on heat and AC. The best! Because NewPro saves heat that's lost through your windows. Competitor? Better than nothing, but nothing like NewPro. NewPro qualifies for the energy tax credit. Some people are saving so much on heating and cooling, they're not paying for NewPro. NewPro is paying them. So, you call us, you choose your windows, we make them in our factory, we install them. First, you notice how warm and quiet your home is. Next, you notice what you're saving. First, utility bill. How much could you save? Find out. Call NewPro.
Call before the busy heating season, and I'll save you 15% on every window. You're going to feel good with NewPro. I guarantee it.
1-800-GO-NEWPRO.
Cambridge Savings Bank offers a checking account that earns more than most savings accounts. Now that's inspired. Find out about Super Smart Checking at CambridgeSavings.com today.
And we're back talking about your money, moving from debt to assets, a program run by the Greater Boston Interfaith Organization. Nadita Coveney, tell me again, as an educator in this program, what are some of the most common problems? You teach people, you help bring people out of debt, move them from debt to assets, just like the title of the program says. What are some of the most common problems that you see when people come to you, begging for help?
I think it's they're